Okay, let's get started. I just shared my screen and you should be seeing the home screen of the Operations Support portal. So this section of the webinar, we're going to talk about entering staff expenses, which is one of the categories I have here. You can see under report summary, which is the last box on the bottom, under categories, you'll see your categories. If you see staff, then this one will apply to you. In order to upload and expense staff costs, you'll have to go to the right of staff under categories. So in that same row, under action, which is under interim report, you'll click on edit, which will take you to the expense form. And this is where you would be entering those expenses that you gave to your volunteers or your staff members, whichever they are. And just like all of the other categories, you'll have instructions here, which will kind of provide you a way that you can look at for if you're having issues. This information is also in the Operations Support Manual, which is available on Feed NYC. And just like all of the other categories, you'll have to enter an expense before you can upload any documents. So a big difference between staff costs as a category and the other categories is that there are so many ways that you can pay a staff member. You can choose one of these 4 categories here: by cash, by check, direct deposit, MetroCard, and all of these are eligible forms of payment. If you are wondering how you can show documentation, you can click right here, number 4 in the instructions. You'll see for questions on eligible forms of payment, you can click here, which opens up a PDF, and I will show you here. And this PDF tells you eligible forms of payment for all of the categories, but for staff, you have, for check, you can choose a cancel check with posting information. And the option 2, if you pay by cash, you can show a photo ID or a picture with a name printed. For option 3, direct deposit, you have to upload an itemized payroll. And for option 4, you have to have the MetroCard receipt. That's what if you're providing a MetroCard for your staff member, you're not giving them cash or money. Okay, let me X out of that. Okay, we're back here. This is the expense form, and we're going to enter an expense together. Let's say I'm paying myself, and all of these are required fields. So you'll see on the right side, there's a red asterisk here, which means you have to enter some information into each of these. And please note, these 5 eligible work performed means that the state is only funding volunteers or staff members for a service that they provide to the food program, which means it has to be one of these 5 things that the volunteer or the staff member is doing. If they're doing administration or if they're a program coordinator and they aren't doing one of these 5 things but are getting paid for it, the state will not fund that. So it has to be one of these 5 things. So this is a food pantry. You can see program type up here. So I'm going to say that I worked as a food pantry worker. You'll have to choose a start date and an end date for how you paid them, and it has to be within these 4 months, July 1st to October 31st, 2017. And you have to provide payment frequency. This is an requirement by the state for us to have this here. You'll just have to pick one. If you pay them once, you'll do once. If you pay them daily, you'll do daily. If you do it biweekly, you can just enter biweekly. That is okay. If you're paying by cash, and these are radio buttons, by the way, so you'll choose how you paid the person, and then something different might show up for each. But for cash, you just have to put your total value that you gave, the total that you gave to the person. So you're only adding an expense for one person. So it's the total amount that you gave them in those 4 months. So if you pay them multiple times, you put the total value of the time that you paid them. So if I was paid twice and I was given $100 each, that's $200 total. So you're putting the total amount that you gave them. So I'll put 200 and I'll save record and it will show up here. But let's just go through all of the different payment types so that I can show you issues that may come up or some information there. So if I'm paying someone by check, I will have to put the check number and the check amount. If I'm paying by multiple checks, I can put multiple checks here. Just have to keep adding up here. the check number and check amount. Just keep adding the information there. And then once you have all the checks in, if I was paid 3 checks, let's make it easy and say that I was paid 3 checks, $100 per check. That's $300 total. I just put that total amount of all the checks up here, and that is the amount I'm expensing. I'll click on Save Record, and that'll be all set there. If I am paying by direct deposit, I will just put the total amount, just like we did for cash, and we'll upload what we need to later after we click on Save Record. And the last thing is MetroCard. You just have to put the total amount that you paid for the actual MetroCard that you gave to your volunteer or your staff member. So MetroCards are usually, I think they're $5.50 for a ride, for 2 rides, or like $31. So if I paid $31 for a MetroCard, I just put that and I save record. Okay, so since all of these are kind of the same, let's do a cash payment. Let's say I was paid $100. I click on Save Record. It will ask me if I am sure. I click yes, and that expense shows up here, like all of the other categories. And I'm not finished yet. Even though it shows up here, I have to upload the payment file. So I have to show proof that I gave this person cash. And proof for cash, which it will show you if you click on the eligible forms of payment over here, is a photo ID. So if you scan a photo ID of that volunteer that you gave cash to, that is acceptable proof. You upload that scan of that ID here. I have a picture of me here, so I'll do that. I upload it, and I am done. I can view it if I want to look at it. I can edit it if I want to edit information here, or I can delete it if I want. And I'll just save record. Then I'll just do summary. All right, so let's go back to staff, because there is one more thing I just wanted to show you all. So for checks, let's say I was paid by checks. Put my name again. I'll put myself for food preparation, same start and same end date. I was paid once by check. I would put 3 checks here. So that would be 3 checks, $100 a piece. I would put a total of $300. Save the record. It will show up here. If I click on here where it says check under payment type, it'll show what I typed up here, all the check numbers and the check amounts. And I can upload all 3 of the canceled checks that I gave to this person, all together in one PDF or one document. So you can't upload 3 different documents. They have to be one document of all 3 checks. Hope that makes sense. You can view summary to go back to the home page, and for direct deposit and MetroCard, it's the same as if it was cash. You enter the information, and then you upload for direct deposit. You upload the payroll registry, and for MetroCard, you upload the receipt of the MetroCard. So if you buy it in bulk, you'll be uploading the receipt that you paid some amount for the MetroCard. Okay, I hope this is helpful. Once you finish adding the expenses for all your staff members, you can click on View Summary to go back to the home page, and you'll be all set to continue with your expense form and go to a different category. But staff is the one that is most used, so I think it's important to kind of ask questions if you need to. And in addition, if you have, and there is no limit on how many staff members you can pay, so you can keep adding staff members, but you should limit the payments to the staff member, as in you're only putting one payment to the staff member. So even though I was paid multiple times by cash, there should only be one expense for me in cash. So for example, before I finish up, let's say I'm paid monthly by cash, and I'm given $100 a month for the deliveries for the food pantry. And that's for 4 months. It'll be $400 total. I don't have to put that I don't have to make 4 expenses for myself being paid $100 per month. I would put it all together, $400 of cash, and I would finish that save record and I'd be done after I upload what I need to. Okay, I hope this is helpful. Please work on your reports, and if there's another category you need to watch, please watch the video for it if you need to. All right, I will talk to you in the next video. Thank you. Bye-bye.